Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're jumping into a huge idea that's totally changing how companies use their most valuable asset, their data. We're going to break down exactly what a unified data ecosystem is, and more importantly, why it's becoming the absolute bedrock for the age of AI.
Okay, so let's start with a question that might hit a little close to home. Does your company have just mountains of data, but trying to get a simple, clear answer to a question feels, well, impossible? If you're nodding along right now, trust me, you are not alone. This is one of the biggest headaches in business today.
So why is it so hard? The problem isn't that we don't have enough data, it's that we have data chaos. I mean, look at this list. We've all seen it. You've got data silos, where the marketing team's data is on a totally different planet from the sales team's data. You've got endless copies of the same file, so nobody knows which one is the real source of truth. It's a tangled mess that's way too complex to manage, with tools that don't talk to each other. And yeah, that shield icon says it all. Huge security risks. It's a mess.
All right, so here's our game plan for sorting all this out. First, we'll dig a little deeper into this modern data dilemma. Then, we'll talk about the unified ecosystem as the solution. After that, we'll look at the anatomy of a real platform to see how this stuff actually works. Then the big one, making data AI ready. And finally, we'll wrap up with why this unified approach really is the future.
Okay, let's jump right in. The heart of the modern data dilemma is this weird paradox. Just collecting more and more data isn't helping. In fact, when that data is scattered all over the place in dozens of different systems, it actually creates more problems. It slows everything down and makes getting those game-changing insights you're looking for incredibly difficult.
So, if the old way is broken, what's the new blueprint? Well, the answer is what we're here to talk about, a unified ecosystem. The entire goal is to move away from that chaotic, fragmented mess to something that's streamlined, simple, and actually powerful.
And here it is, the official definition. A unified data ecosystem is a single, all-in-one platform. Its whole reason for being is to simplify everything, from your basic reports all the way to your most advanced AI models, by finally getting rid of those frustrating silos and stopping that endless cycle of copy-paste, copy-paste.
You know, if you only remember one thing from this entire explainer, I want it to be this right here. One platform, one copy of data. It sounds so simple, right? But this is the revolutionary concept that changes absolutely everything.
Now, theory is great, but to make this less abstract, let's look at a real-world example. We're going to use Microsoft Fabric here as a case study. And just to be clear, this is not a sales pitch, it's just a great way to understand the anatomy of one of these platforms. It's what's known as a complete SaaS, or software as a service solution, which basically means it's a fully managed platform designed to do exactly what we've been talking about.
Okay, so at the very heart of a system like this is a concept called OneLake. The easiest way to think about it, it's like the central library for all of your company's information. It's a single, logical data lake for the entire organization. No more separate storage closets and disconnected hard drives. Everything lives here.
So how does OneLake pull this off? It's through something called the zero-copy principle. And the goal is pretty straightforward. Get the most value you possibly can from that single copy of data without physically moving it or making a duplicate every single time a new team needs to look at it. I mean, this is a massive change from how things used to be done.
And this slide just nails the difference, right? The old way, on the left, was all about moving and copying data, which, as we know, creates a huge, complex mess. The new way, the Fabric way, is to use shortcuts. What's really cool is you can even create a shortcut to data that's sitting in a totally different cloud, like in an AWS S3 bucket, and use it right there as if it's local, without ever moving a single byte of it. You get zero duplication, and finally, a single source of truth.
But look, a unified platform isn't just a giant hard drive in the sky. It's also about having a complete, integrated toolbox. Fabric, for instance, pulls together all these major workloads, everything from data integration and engineering to data science and BI, all in one place. It's like having this master workshop where every tool you could possibly need is right there at your fingertips, and they all work together seamlessly. And now we get to the ultimate payoff, the big why. Why go through all this trouble to unify your data? The answer is simple, and it's probably the biggest buzzword in tech right now: to make it ready for AI. A unified system isn't just a nice-to-have anymore. It's the absolute foundation for any serious AI strategy. This quote really says it all, doesn't it? You can have the smartest, most advanced AI models on the planet,
but they are completely useless without high-quality, accessible, and well-organized data to learn from. The quality of your AI will never be better than the quality of your data foundation, period.
So, how do you actually bridge that gap between a giant lake of raw data and an AI agent that needs to understand it? Well, in this ecosystem, the answer is a feature called Fabric IQ. You can think of it as the intelligence layer that sits on top of the data. This is really the secret sauce that turns all that raw data into usable intelligence.
So what is this intelligence layer? Essentially, it adds business context. Instead of your data being organized by really technical table names that only an IT expert understands, it organizes it around the words your business actually uses, like customer, or product, or quarterly sales. It basically teaches the AI to speak the language of your business.
And this slide just lays out that whole journey perfectly. Step 1, all your data gets unified in one place. Step 2, that intelligence layer adds the business context. Step 3, AI agents can now easily find and understand this organized data. And finally, step 4, those agents can generate real, valuable business insights for you. It's a straight line from chaos to clarity. Of course, none of this matters if your data isn't secure and governed properly. A massive benefit of a unified system is that governance is baked right in from the start. It's not an afterthought you bolt on later. So through integration with tools like Microsoft Purview, security policies and sensitivity labels get applied automatically across the entire system. This means it can proactively flag risks, like spotting credit card info where it shouldn't be, and it makes things like compliance and auditing so much simpler.
So as we start to wrap this up, let's just lock in the key takeaways. This really does represent a fundamental shift in how we need to think about and manage our data from here on out.
Ultimately, the paradigm shift we're talking about isn't about the race to collect more data anymore. It's about having better data. Data that is unified in one place, made intelligent with business context, and kept secure by design. That's the trifecta. That is what unlocks real, tangible value. And I'll just leave you with this final thought. If all of your organization's data, every last bit of it, was in one place, intelligent, and instantly accessible, what are the big, game-changing questions that you could finally get an answer to? Something to think about. Thanks for tuning in.